What is up, guys, and welcome back to our St. Louis Blues Fantasy Draft Franchise Mode series. We are here at the new season, and we have a really good team. At least, in my estimation, we should definitely be back in the Stanley Cup final this year. We should be winning our second Stanley Cup in the last 3 seasons. Here are our lines. Got the Sedin brothers here on the second line with Burakovsky, little Swedish line there, as well as Forsberg. Shit, we have a lot of Swedes here. I think Granlund's actually a Finn. Yeah, okay. So only 4 Swedes, but they're all in our top 6. And defensively, we got Carlson, also another Swede. So pretty Swedish heavy, but you know they get it done, and we're hoping that they get it done here for us this season. So that's what our teams look like, or our even strength lines. Here are the special teams lines. I'm definitely looking for a division-winning President's Trophy contending season from us, and a dominant playoff performance as well. I feel like this team has what it takes, especially with John Gibson in net, to really get it done this year. No doubt about it. I'd be disappointed with anything less than a Stanley Cup final appearance. So our top line, before I get into this, a problem that we're going to have, or that we might have, is our player roles. Just a lot of third line guys on the fourth line, and second line guys on the third line, and even a first line guy on the second line. But our whole first line, all first line roles. Second line, we got Daniel Sedin listed as a first line forward, but that's okay. He's going to get plenty of power play time, and even 3-on-3 time. He'll be fine. And then on the third line, Strome and Granlund are both listed as second line guys. We have Strome getting some power play time and Granlund getting a lot of penalty kill time, so they'll be fine as well. And then on the fourth line, Vanek, Sam Bennett, and Jaromir Jagr are all third scoring line guys. We have Jagr on the power play and Sam Bennett on the penalty kill. Only with a 3-star defense, not the best for a penalty kill, but I gotta give him some time somewhere. And then Vanek, we're just going with it. Last year of his deal, regressing quite a bit. He won't be around next season, so we're fine if he's not too happy at the end of this season. And then on defense, we have Alzner down here on the third pairing as a top 4D man, but he's getting some penalty kill time as well. So that's what the team looks like. I did sign a bunch of guys for the AHL, but those names will pop up here in a few days as we get into the simulation on the calendar. And then I'll go fix the AHL lines once those guys are signed. Yeah, it'll only take them a few days, so we can get on here to this first preseason game before I have to do that. Here's the guys we signed: Tom Kuhnhackl, Johan Larsson, Rocco Grimaldi, Matt Pumple, Stefan Nosen, Johan Sundstrom, Ryan Murphy. All those guys, 25 or 26, they have a little bit of potential left, and they're all around 80 overall. So hopefully those guys can contribute to the AHL squad, and then potentially jump up a couple overall points maybe, and then could be in the NHL next season, who knows. But the point is just signing guys there to fill out the rest of the AHL squad and give that team the best shot to win. So we'll go to edit lines. Well, I'm going to see if any of them ended up on the NHL squad after I signed them. Then I'll have to send them down. And it looks like they did not. So in the system, they're all there. Okay, so let's go to edit lines. And AHL. Okay. We'll just best lines and see what it says. We want to put, if we have any prospects like Svechnikov, we're going to put him in the right position on the right line, or on the top line. Switch those guys around. Klimchuk as well is another prospect we have. So we'll throw him up here. We do that, and then put Larson over there. Whatever. I'm just getting the higher overall guys into higher roles on the team. Then scratched just a bunch of exact AHL guys that we don't really care about. Yep, okay. And then So we got Svechnikov up there, and then Klimchuk there. Okay, so defensively, Jake Bean and Jeremy Waugh need to be getting all the time. Nordy Mayfield, and then Ryan Murphy, Frederick Clayson. Yep, that's fine. Goaltending, we have Wedgwood and Carleto. So I traded Vavalainen, and he's no longer on the team. He was a 4th round pick. We got a little bit more value out of him than that. I'm going to go to show the activity feed. So it turns out after the last video I did not save, or something happened with the save file. So I had to go in and redo the stuff, redo the trades and shit. So, like Cam Atkinson might not be on Florida, I don't know. But all the prospects that we tried to sign went to the same places. And we got Daniel Sedin on that 1-year, $7 million contract. So we traded away Anthony Mantha, Matt Murray, and a couple of low-end draft picks way in the future to get John Gibson. So the only thing there is that 2 extra picks. And then we traded Vaini Vavalainen and a 6th to Anaheim for a 2nd and a 3rd. So pretty good return on Vavalainen. We used a 4th on him, and now we're getting a 2nd and a 3rd out of him. So that was a good return on investment there. And I mean, he could have played this season as our backup in the NHL. If we wouldn't have had Evan Fitzpatrick, he definitely would have. But we're sticking with Fitzpatrick. I guess since we traded for John Gibson, we could have just let, we could have traded Evan Fitzpatrick, because we're not going to need a starting goalie. We're going to need a backup, and Vavalainen could have been that guy, with his fringe starter potential versus Fitzpatrick's medium starter potential. But you know, that's in the past now. So yeah, let's just get on with this season. We went 6-0 in preseason play. So that's pretty damn good. Hopefully that success can carry over to the regular season. And like I said, Stanley Cup final or bust pretty much. Like I've been saying since this series started, we're probably going to hit a wall sooner rather than later, but we might not. But both the Sedin twins will probably be retiring sooner rather than later. Yager, Vanek, that's it, really. So just the 4 forwards. That might not be too big of a problem, because we have guys like Strome and Dubois and Bennett, and we signed traded for Granlund. Burakovsky's still young. Our whole first line's young. So that might not be as big of a problem as I'm making it out to be. If Seidenberg's like an 85, I might do this trade, but I doubt he will be. The 7th D roll. Yeah, 83. Really good defensively, but shit elsewhere, and I'm not going to trade a 3rd round pick for that. So, no thank you, Pittsburgh. We're 4-0-2 so far. That's pretty good. So what's that, like 10 points in 6 games? Let me get another win there against the Florida Panthers. So, yeah, we've set the bar for this season. You guys have seen the squad, and I can do some mixing and matching, especially if players grow throughout the season, if need be. Can switch the lines up a little bit, see what works and what doesn't, but I feel like we have the best situation right now. Or the lines I've created, I feel like they're the best. Otherwise, you know, why would I create other lines that I didn't think were the best? I don't know. At this point, I am just blabbering as my ear itched. Had to remove the headset for a second. Just throwing the scouting assignment up there. Alright, whatever. So this year is weird for scouting because all the CHL leagues, we have B scouting accuracy. And typically in the 3rd year, I think we're, yeah, 2018, the 3rd year, like the, wait, is this really 16, 17? Okay, yes, 3rd year. 2018-19 season, 3rd year. The 3rd year in the CHL, the numbers are huge in terms of how many players are there playing, but it turns out that most of them are real players that just weren't good enough to get drafted the first 2 seasons. So there are a bunch of really bad players in the CHL that are draft eligible that aren't really good enough. They're going to go undrafted once again. And you'll see that in the later rounds. Pretty much all the players will be Canadian, and they'll all be pretty bad potential. We haven't yet gotten into the point of the drafts where it's all EA created players. It's all generated players, I should say. Typically, when you get into those drafts, they get a lot deeper and you can get better. You can get like medium top 9 forwards or medium top 6 D-men with your 4th round picks. You can get like medium top 4 defensemen with your 2nd round picks. Just crazy good return in those years, but we're not quite there yet. So honestly, I'm not even concerned with the draft because we're competitors. 15-3-4 in our first month and a half. First in the division, leading the Stars by 3 points. And we have 2 games in hand on them as well. We are 11 points out from the second wildcard spot. 96 offense, 94 defense, 92 goaltending. Really, really, really good start to the season here as Erik Karlsson's a point-a-game player. And then we just have a lot of balanced scoring after that. So, not the best scoring from our second line. Burakovsky, 13. Daniel Sedin, 12. Oh, I burped. Jeez. It stopped me mid saying his name. I said Henrik Sedin with 8 points. All those players are minuses, so that might be a... might need some moves to be made there in switching those guys up. We might move Granlund up to the second line. He's got 15 points already. Strome with 12, and then Dubois with 11. But our 4th line down here at the bottom, well, not really. Yager's up there with 12, but he's getting a lot of power play time, of course. But Bennett and Vanek down there at the bottom. Murray, Sanheim, Alzner, Chikrin. We don't expect those guys to score too much, so it's okay that they're way down there. And then Provorov up here with 13. He's having a pretty good season. Forsberg only 13. That's a little bit disappointing. Draisaitl 14, Toffoli 15. But not too bad overall. A lot of balanced scoring from our forward lines. John Gibson has played every single game so far. So Evan Fitzpatrick has not saw the average. 209 goals against, and then a 9.22 save. Pretty damn good season so far for John Gibson. So we'll go a little bit longer, and then we might have to change up that second line a little bit, but we'll not concern ourselves with that because we're still 15-3-4. Still a really good season so far. It's good to see us playing well. Coming off that disappointing Stanley Cup final performance against the New Jersey Devils, we're going to have to avenge that a little bit and then start our dynasty, really. Or at least cement our dynasty. I don't know if you'd call it a dynasty, though. Just three trips in a row. I don't know. Do you need more? Like 2 cups in 3 years? Is that enough? Probably not. Maybe if we get like 3-4, 3-5 or something like that. But we are not quite to that point yet. We still have a whole season to go and a whole playoffs to go. We are on a 5-game winning streak, though, as the Oilers are just terrible. 8-21-2. And of course I say that and they beat us in regulation. Yep, that happened. That happens to me all the goddamn time. Another worthless scouting assignment there. 6 more games left in this month to see what this team can do. I'm really excited for the Vegas Golden Knights expansion draft. I really want to see what their team's going to look like and see who they take and what sort of deals they make. It's going to be a really exciting offseason for the NHL. It's going to be really exciting. Lots of new stuff. Expansion draft, lots of trades related to that. The NHL draft, free agency. It's just going to be really fun. It's going to be a really good summer for the NHL, and I'm really looking forward to it as I successfully filled that time there. Those last 2 weeks I did not know what to talk about. No, I do not want to trade for Seidenberg. Fucking Penguins. Have we played the Penguins yet? Yeah, we beat them 4-3. They're not bad. Why are they trying to trade Seidenberg? They should keep him. Make a cup run. Be nice to play them in the Stanley Cup final. So we are 9 points up on the second place Stars. 16 points up on the wild card spot. Chicago Blackhawks. So we are safely in the playoffs, it looks like. Or at least at the top of the division. Karlsson nearly a point a game. That second line's still a little bit down there in terms of points. But Granlund's also down there with them. So top line's leading the way. Top defensive pair is insane. Second line's -3, so that went up a little bit. And they're all at least 20-point scorers. Yager also 20 points for him. He's having a pretty good season. His age 46 season. Oh man, Yager. He still needs to win a cup with us. Now to come think about it. We only had him last season, and we failed to win the cup, so. Fitzpatrick has seen 4 games. All right, get him in there, son. 202 GAA for Gibson, 926 save. He's having an incredible season. Incredible season. Nothing to change. 3.11 goals for, 2.11 goals against. That's pretty crazy. Probably the lowest goals against in the league. We might be in the running for the William M. Jennings Award this season. 26% power play is insane. 89% penalty kill is insane. 7-1-2 in our last 10. Let's take a look at the progress reports because we have a bunch of young guys, especially in the system. See if anyone is making big strides for this team. Progress reports, and then sort this a little bit. Okay, so Yager has had 9 modifications, probably regressions, but he's grown in overall. That is due to his morale. He's probably really, really happy. As you can see, he's getting quite a bit of minus growth in the natural department, minus natural growth. But he's also getting a bunch of morale growth, so those are kind of canceling out. Chikrin is seeing a little bit of growth as well as Fitzpatrick, as Evan Fitzpatrick. Vanek is regressing some too. And then all of the rest of our young guys are not growing, but that's okay. It'd be nice to see Strom grow a little bit. Might make him our second line center of the future if he were to grow. Depending on his face-off category. 75, not the best face-offs, but still pretty good. I really want to see his offensive awareness go up. That is what I want to see. So that's what our growth looks like for players in the NHL. What about in the system? Cale Fleury's getting quite a bit of growth. 15 points, but only 1 overall. Holmstrom, Klimchuk. One guy we're not seeing here, unfortunately, is Svechnikov. He's going 1 overall for morale, but his low elite tag isn't going. It is not giving him any natural growth. Same thing with Jake Bean. He's only an 80, but he still is 20 years old, so he has a few more years of growth potential. But Jeremy Waugh has seen 4 modifications to his overall, or to his attributes. 1 point overall growth, so nothing crazy in the growth department for anybody really across our organization, but that's not the main focus right now, as the main focus right now is winning the Stanley Cup. And we are well on our way to doing that. Well on our way, having a fantastic season so far. We will sim ahead this next month and then call it a video there. We'll see if we have any players in the All-Star game. I would imagine Erik Karlsson would definitely be in the running for an All-Star bid. Other scouting assignment. Fuck. Okay. I've complained about this in the past, but if you're gonna have like announcements for who makes the All-Star game, at least show like an entire All-Star roster. They only show like 20 guys or so, but in the real All-Star game, there's 30 plus guys. I mean, you have to fill out a whole squad for each conference. So 18 and 3 goalies or 4 goalies or whatever it was for both conference. That's at least 40 players, but the game only shows like 20 of those. So we've started off this month very, very strong. What's that? 10 game winning streak. Holy shit. So make that 11. Can we finish off this month undefeated? Probably not against Chicago, but we do. Okay, so now we're on a California road trip. We got the Sharks and the Kings up next. Can we beat them? I really hope so. Let's actually stop and check out the All-Star game notifications. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. And they should make the All-Star game playable. We are up 24-point lead in the division. My goodness. So in previous NHL games, you've been able to go in and actually look at the rosters and the lines for the All-Star game. You can even play the All-Star game, and you can do that for pretty much any sports game, but that's something NHL needs to work on, and I hope that's in NHL 18, but it probably won't be because, you know, NHL doesn't really improve on their games. So Crosby, Doughty, Tarasenko, Stamkos, Tavares, Sagan, that's 6. Kane, Erik Karlsson, there we go. Malkin, Jamie Benn, Alex Ovechkin, and Barkov, that's 12. Duncan Keith, Holtby, Giroux, Subban, Galchenyuk, Kuznetsov, that's 18. McKinnon makes 19. Jaden Schwartz, Rask, Nugent Hopkins, Yossi, that's 25. So they only show 25 players to make the All-Star game. And that, you know, you can't make 2 All-Star teams with 25 players. So I don't know what the deal is there. They do show the East won 4-2, but you can't look at the score or anything. You can't look at the box score. So I don't really know what the point of that is. I really don't get it. But, you know, what can you do? The Blues come to town having won their last 12 games. Hashtag STL versus SJ. 12-game winning streak for the Blues. Can we make it 14 to close out this month? Nope. We lose both of those games. One in a shootout, one in regulation. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But we're still having an insane season so far. Up to 79 points. And we are 25 points ahead of the Chicago Blackhawks. And whoever else is there. I was waiting for it to load. The wild card spots are 53 and 51, so we're 26 points or 28 points up on the wild card spots. The Jets are in third in the division with 54 points as well. So let's look at our team stats really quickly before we call it a video. Erik Karlsson 49 points, so he fell a little bit. No, he's still a point a game. I was doing the math wrong in my head. 49 points in 49 games for Erik Karlsson. Our top line are all pushing 40. We got Provorov there at 35. Our second line is around the 30 mark. Yager 30. Granlund on the third line 30. Strom, Dubois, Bennett, Vanek. You guys can see those stats for yourself. And looking at our plus and minus, that second line has gotten better, as only Daniel Sedin is still a minus. Henrik is a 0, and Burakovsky plus 3. That bottom defensive pairing a little bit of a minus though, but nothing to write home about. Karlsson and Provorov all both 20 plus, and then all these guys are double digits. Goaltending, John Gibson less than 2 GAA and a 928 save percentage. So upgrading from John Gibson over Matt Murray might just, you know, let us waltz into the Stanley Cup final. It's never a waltz, but you know, you get what I'm saying. Just a huge upgrade for us in net. 324 goals for, 212 goals against. That's insane. 23% power play is pretty good. 87 penalty kill is damn good. We're pretty damn good on the road and at home. 8-1-1 in our last 10. So things are looking really good for the St. Louis Blues this year, boys. We are fighting for a President's Trophy. As I'm waiting for the screen to load so I can go back and look at the standings to see where we stand in terms of that. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, go check out our other series, share this video with your friends, do all of those things. We look to finish out the rest of the regular season in the next video, and we are 13 points ahead in the President's Trophy race, so we probably have that pretty much locked up. We are looking for a historic season this year, boys. We look to get 60 wins, might even break the record of 62 wins, who knows. Who knows what's going to happen. We've lost 13 games, so our max wins are 69, so we can lose 9 more games the rest of the way total to break 60 wins. Let's see if we can do that. So yeah, I'll do that in the next video, and I'll see you guys next time.